let's talk about the Dorian mode a little bit. One of the most confusing ways to learn modes is relatively. Now, when I say relatively, you've probably heard this. You know, the modes are just all the same scale, except you start on a different note. Don't fall for that. That's not what we're going to talk about today. And learning scales in relative fashion like that, there are benefits and there are some very severe drawbacks. So let's start with just a D major scale, which you probably know this scale. And you'll notice I'm just playing the scale vertically. I don't cross over to... and you know, the octave. So we just go up to the sixth and then move our way back down. Okay. So the D major scale that I just played, these are the notes: D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So we've got an F sharp and a C sharp in a D major scale. Okay. Now, how do we make this D major scale into a Dorian mode? The first thing I think we'll do is change the F sharp to a darker minor sound by playing an F natural. And so immediately when I play that minor third from D to E and then E to F, the minor third 1, 2, 3, as opposed to a major third, right? The major third implies major. The minor third implies minor. Okay, so the Dorian mode is a minor scale. Period. And now let's just work our way through the rest of the notes that we've got so far. So Dorian with the flat 3, and then the 4, and then the 5, just like we had in a major scale, right? So those 5 notes would be identical to the D major scale with the exception of the flat 3 or the F natural in this case. Let's move to the 6th of the scale. That note is unaltered in a Dorian mode. Between the D major and D Dorian, the 6th is unaltered. It's a major 6th interval, and it's a bright sounding interval because it's a major 6, but it's in a minor scale. Now that 6th becomes a characteristic in the Dorian mode because the major 6 gives us a 4 chord in a minor key. So we have a 1 minor to a 4 major to back to a 1 minor. So a Dorian mode is a very bright sounding mode because of that major 6th. If we change this to an Aeolian mode, the Aeolian mode or the natural minor scale would have that flat 6, and that flat 6 would produce a 4 minor chord. So a strong characteristic of the Dorian mode is it's a minor mode with a 4 major. Okay. Bright sounding mode, even though it's a minor mode. And then let's move further. So here's our flat 3, our 4, our 5. We have a 1, a 4, and a 5, making it a tonal mode because we have a 1 chord, and we have a 4 chord, and we have a 5 chord, and then a 1 chord again, right? So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, the major 6, and then we go to a flat 7. So we lower the F sharp and the C sharp and make it a C natural. And so now we have all the notes of the mode. And so on. Okay, so we have all the notes of the mode now. We have a 1, a 2, a flat 3, a 4, and a 5. The 1, the 4, and the 5 make it what we call the tonal mode. And then we have the 6, the major 6, which gives us that 4. That 4 major chord, bright sounding minor mode, the brightest sounding of the minor modes. And then we have the flat 7, the same 7 that we would find in a Mixolydian mode. Right. So we have the flat 3, 4, 5, 6, the major 6, the flat 7, and we're back to the root. Okay, and let's just do another characteristic chord in Dorian. That characteristic chord we would call the flat 7 major. So the flat 7 is a C, and from the notes of the Dorian, we would build a C major, right? So we have this progression, for instance, D minor, C major, 4 major, the 5 chord is minor, and back to the 1. Okay, so what's different about this way of looking at modes? What's different is don't look at them relatively. Take a major scale, like in this case a D major scale. Now you can do this with any scale. So if I applied the same thing, let's say to the G major scale, here's the G major scale, right? And went through the same process. First of all, I lower the 3, right? I keep the 1, the 4, and the 5 to make it a tonal mode. So lower the 3, 4, 5. I still use the same 6 as I would find in the major scale. So there's my major 6. So we have minor 3rd, the flat 3, 4, 5, 6, and I lower the 7 to make it an F natural. And now I've got Dorian in 1 octave. If I continue that through a second, my 1 chord is minor, my 4 chord is major. Right. And the 5 chord is minor. Right. And the 4 chord's major. 1 chord is minor. And the flat 7 chord is major. Yeah, so that's a very different way of looking at modes. It gives you more of an understanding of where the mode gets its quality from. So we're looking at the mode in parallel. That means we're looking at it in relation to its major scale, and that's where we come up with the names flat 3, major 6, flat 7, because we're comparing to the parallel major mode. This is common practice. It's what's done in the study of harmony and composition, and it gives us more of an understanding of what we're manipulating in order to give us the sound of the Dorian mode. With each progressive lowering of a note, by the way, like if we start with Dorian and lower that third, it becomes darker. So we've got the major 6 and the flat 7, which darkens it a little bit as well, right? If we play Aeolian mode, we flat the 6 as well, which makes it a little darker again. And so on. We could go through all the modes and do the same thing. But that's not what this lesson is. What this lesson is about looking at a scale, a major scale that you know, and then take that major scale and create a Dorian mode in parallel. And be able to explain and hear what the Dorian mode is. If this video was helpful to you, like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm immensely. Buy me a coffee. Buy one of my books, which you can get on Amazon. And please leave a question. I get back to all the questions with fairly lengthy answers. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you real soon.